Hello, I'm Simon Whistler, you're watching TopTenzNet, and in the video today we're looking at the top 10 incredible stunts that went horribly wrong. Number 10. Kristen Johnson.
The spectators at a Detroit Pistons game in January 2009 who stayed in their seats for the halftime show got to see something pretty unforgettable when professional escape artist Kristen Johnson performed her dangerous and oh-so-pleasant-sounding water torture cell escape. On that day, Johnson was submerged in the water-filled tank with her hands and feet shackled. As the crowd, which included children, watched on, Johnson managed to free her hands and feet, but then after about 2 minutes and 50 seconds, she started to struggle and lost consciousness. Seeing she was in trouble, her assistant unlocked the chamber and pulled Johnson to the surface. Luckily, after a few seconds, Johnson raised her hand, showing that she was alive.
Number 9. Michael, the Great Moodini Mooney.
In June 2011, Mooney, who goes by the somewhat misleading name of the Great Moodini, was performing a stunt in front of a crowd at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. The stunt involved Mooney trying to escape from shackles while blindfolded. However, since this was a big gig at the Speedway, Mooney wanted to make it more exciting, so he chained his wrist shackles to the back of a Camaro that would take off after a 3-second countdown. Mooney, who apparently didn't understand how time and speed work, also didn't think he needed a head start, so the car took off at the same time as he started to try to pick the locks on his shackles. Predictably, everything went horribly wrong less than 2 seconds after the stunt started. He ended up breaking his wrists, some fingers, and his clavicle.
Number 8. Bill Shirk.
One of the most frightening ways to die is to be buried alive. This is probably why the most famous escape artist of all time, Harry Houdini, thought it would make for a good escape act. But when he tried in 1915, it almost killed him. Ever since Houdini's failed attempt, a number of people have tried to escape from being buried alive, but few have succeeded. One of the most notable attempts to try to outdo Houdini was performed by radio broadcaster and escape artist Bill Shirk. In 1992 in Indianapolis, Shirk decided to up the danger factor by not only being buried under dirt, but cement as well. The plexiglass coffin wasn't strong enough to support the weight of 6 tons of dirt and cement. After the cement was poured, the coffin shattered, and the dirt and cement poured into the coffin where Bill lay shackled. Luckily, Shirk was pulled out and survived.
Number 7. Junior Delgado.
The Montreal-based Cirque du Soleil is known throughout the world for their breathtaking and gravity-defying stunts. Adding to the danger of the stunts is that during live shows, the performers do their stunts without nets. The video we're showing here was taken from their production Zarkana in Las Vegas in November 2013. The performer Junior Delgado was atop the ominous-sounding Wheel of Death when the apparatus shifted and the longtime performer fell face-first to the ground, landing with a sickening thud. Delgado was taken to the hospital and later that night logged onto Facebook to confirm he had survived the frightening fall.
Number 6. Oleksie Pinko.
In October of 2010, the City of Lions Circus was putting on a show at an arena in Lviv, Ukraine. During the show, lion trainer Oleksie Pinko was doing a stunt that involved him being in an enclosed area with 5 full-grown male African lions. One of them lunged at Pinko and another joined in. Using a steel rod, Pinko fought them back and helpers sprayed the lions with water. Much of the audience, which was separated from the lions by a thin layer of mesh, started to flee the arena. Pinko was taken to the hospital with a bite on his arm and given emergency surgery, but he ultimately survived the attack.
Number 5. Spencer Horsman.
In June 2015, 29-year-old escapist Spencer Horsman was rehearsing for opening a Criss Angel show, specifically rehearsing a water torture cell escape. In Horsman's version of the trick, he is shackled with chains and locked in a water-filled cage that hangs 30 feet above the ground. During the rehearsal, Horsman lost consciousness before he could escape. His crew was forced to lower him and break him out. Luckily, he recovered from the near-fatal accident. In September 2015, Horsman was performing the same stunt in front of a crowd outside the New Jersey State Theater. Again, he lost consciousness and his crew was forced to pull his limp body from the tank. He was taken to the hospital, where he recovered and is still doing shows.
Number 4. Jesus, half-animal Vilja.
We have absolutely no idea why anyone would want to jump headfirst into multiple panes of tempered glass, like Jesus half-animal Vilja attempted to do in July of 2013. Villiers, who holds 6 Guinness World Records and is a former performer with Cirque du Soleil, was performing the stunt for a television show in Las Vegas. To set a new Guinness World Record while wearing some safety equipment and using a trampoline, he was going to jump headfirst through 10 panes of tempered glass, which is 4 times stronger than traditional glass. The stunt was an immediate disaster when Villiers dove at the glass and didn't pass through it like he had planned. Instead, he was launched backwards and then the glass shattered over him. The audience and hosts laughed, as we're sure a lot of people did while watching the video, but Villiers broke his neck in 12 places and spent several months in the hospital.
Number 3. Fred Osborne.
In 1926, aviator and stuntman Fred Osborne had an idea for a stunt that was as simple as it was badass. He was going to drive a motorcycle over a cliff in Santa Monica, California, and then parachute to safety. After driving over the cliff, Osborne pulled the cord of his parachute, but it didn't deploy properly, and Osborne and the bike plummeted 500 feet to the ground below. Miraculously, Osborne survived the plunge because telegraph and telephone wires broke his fall.
Number 2. Samuel Koch.
On December 5, 2010, around 10 million people tuned in to catch the German television show Wetten das, Want to Bet. The premise of the show is that the hosts challenge people to do difficult, often harmless tasks in front of a panel of celebrities. On that day, 23-year-old Samuel Koch appeared on the show and was challenged to jump over 5 moving cars using spring-loaded footwear called kangaroo shoes. The stunt was going fine until the 4th car. When Koch attempted to jump over the car, one of the shoes malfunctioned and Koch didn't get the height he needed. He hit the windshield, which caused him to land headfirst on the hard studio floor. Koch was taken to the hospital, where he had 2 surgeries and was in a coma for 10 days. While Koch was wearing a helmet, the crash broke vertebrae in his neck and left the young man paralyzed.
Number 1. Robert Craig, Evel Knievel.
You didn't think we could have gotten through this list without talking about the ultimate stuntman, did you? His most famous crash was also his first serious crash, which happened on New Year's Eve 1967 when he tried to jump 151 feet over the fountain at Caesar's Palace. He jumped the right distance but crashed on the landing. He stayed in the hospital for nearly a month with 40 broken bones, including broken ribs, hips, and a crushed pelvis. Knievel finally quit jumping in 1977 after crashing during a practice jump at the Chicago Amphitheater. Knievel was planning on jumping over a tank filled with 13 sharks, and while practicing, he went off the landing ramp and hit a cameraman. As a result of the accident, the cameraman lost an eye. It was the first time that someone other than Knievel was hurt during one of his stunts.
So I really hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please do give us a like below and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you like this video about stuntmen, check out some of our other videos on the right. One is the top 10 movie stuntmen who died on the job, and below that we've got the top 10 amazing air stunts that saved lives. So be sure to check those other videos out, be sure to like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.